Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Tuesday. Hey, baby, how you doing?
Hey, I'm fantastic. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. It's Tuesday. It's November the 15th. Isn't it Election Day today? Or that happened last week?
That was last week.
I thought that was all just a dream because it just seemed so weird that, everything happened the way that it happened. But, okay, that was a whole week ago already, so we can move on now. Nation, move on, please. Have you been on Facebook lately?
Oh, yes.
I thought that after the election was done, we were going to quit talking about politics, but apparently not. Amped it up a notch. Hey, Tuesdays with Charlie is coming up later today.
Yeah.
And that's never political, so that'll be fun. Also, did you know deja vu occurs when your brain applies a memory of a similar situation to your current situation, making you think that it has happened already? But it hasn't already happened. You just thought that it did. So your brain gets kind of tricked into thinking that. You ever have that happen?
I have had that happen.
Deja vu, me too. Hey, according to census figures, there's over 50,000 Americans right now who are over the age of 100. Happy birthday to you. Over
How many?
50,000.
Really?
Yeah, that are at least 100 years old. So there you go. And
Were they looking at voter turnout?
deja vu. Coming up, we got some special stuff happening on this date, the 15th day of November.
John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It's Tuesday, November the 15th. Today is America Recycles Day. It is George Spelvin Day.
Who's George Spelvin?
I don't know. It says also more than one roll day. So apparently he had more than one roll. I'm not sure.
What?
Yeah. It's ROLE, so it's not like he was eating a lot of rolls. I don't know. We'll have to Google that. I Love to Write Day. National Bunt Pan Day. National Clean Out Your Refrigerator Day. You know what? That is going to be for me because I've got a garbage man that I need to give a bag of stuff to. So we've got some leftovers that I think have kind of taken on a life of their own.
I saw them moving the other day, so it might be a good time.
There was like a stew that you made, or was it a stew, or what would you call that? The thing that you made that you said, I don't like it. And I was like, oh, it's good. I'll eat it.
Oh, yeah. You said, save it. I'll eat it.
I did. Well,
it was pretty gross.
I forgot about it. It got put behind a gallon of milk. And I went to eat it the other day. I was like, yee. National Clean Out the Refrigerator Day. Thank goodness. It's also National Entrepreneurship Day.
Good day.
National Philanthropy Day. And Rock Your Mocks Day. So all of that going on this Tuesday, the 15th day of November.
John and Heidi.
Would you like to lose weight? You could wait till New Year's to make a resolution, but most people that do that are done with them in a few weeks. No, they don't hit their goal. They just give up. If you struggle to keep your weight where you'd like it, maybe you should consider hypnosis. Many people have amazing results with hypnosis, and it's not as expensive as you think. We have a special weight loss hypnosis program for just $60 at radiosavings.com. Hypnosis can help reduce the cravings that cause you to overeat. Learn more about this special hypnosis weight loss system from Extreme Power Hypnosis at radiosavings.com.
John and Heidi.
You know it's true because you heard it on the radio. Could our pain at the pump come to an end? A Canadian man named Joe Williams invented a device that he calls a hydrogen generating module, also H2N Gen for short. It's smaller than a DVD player, and he claims that it can increase your car's gas mileage by 10 to 40%.
Oh, wow.
Also, cuts pollutants by 100%. The H2N Gen contains a small reservoir of distilled water and other chemicals such as potassium hydroxide. A current is run from the car battery through the liquid, which then creates hydrogen and oxygen gases that are then fed into the engine's intake manifold, where they mix with gasoline vapors. You may not know it, but your car's engine only burns about 35% of the fuel right now. I didn't know that. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
The rest eventually becomes air pollution. By adding hydrogen to the mix, more fuel is burned, meaning better mileage and cleaner air. Williams' device increases burn efficiency to about 97%. So that's pretty good. That's really good. Also means less engine maintenance and fewer oil changes. All you would have to do is refill the unit with distilled water once every 80 hours of engine use. So if you think he's all talk, an independent lab has verified the results. He estimates the units would cost about $750 each. And after a couple of last tweaks, they could be on the market in 6 to 12 months. Well, they can work on any car. He plans on selling them first to fleets like mass transit companies. That's a good idea.
It is a good idea.
This should have been our good news for the day. Can we just pretend like we didn't talk about it now?
We'll have to see if it if it actually works. I don't know.
I actually saw a video online of this, and he had, because first thing you think of is hydrogen. Wait a minute. Hydrogen bombs. This is dangerous. Well, no. You know how he stores the hydrogen?
How?
In a water form. It's water. So hydrogen. H2O, hydrogen and oxygen. So they take the oxygen from the water. So it's very, from the video, at least the dude explained it there, made it sound safe. So if you get in an accident, you just have water spilled in the back. So wouldn't explode. Anyway, you know it's true because you heard it on the radio.
John and Heidi.
The John and Heidi Show is brought to you in part by the Keystone Treatment Center.
This is your brain, and this is your brain on drugs. We share silly stories here on the program, but addiction is no joke. If you or someone you know suffers with an addiction to drugs or alcohol, make today the day you seek help.
Call toll-free 844-204-1055.
That's a toll-free number. Again,
844-204-1055.
and this is your brain on drugs. You can have another use now for duct tape. Add this one to the list. An airline crew used duct tape to restrain a passenger because he was drunk and violent. Heidi, was one of your relatives on this point? Maria Esther Castillo of New York is charged with resisting arrest and interfering with operations on a United Airlines plane. Authorities charged her when she hit a member of the crew and pulled a blind passenger's hair. Officials say she slipped out of her ankle cuffs. Crew members and passengers then used duct tape to keep her taped to her seat. The disruption also forced the pilot to make an unscheduled landing in North Carolina on their route from Puerto Rico to Chicago. They're like, yeah, you're getting off here. But I was going to Chicago. Yeah, no, you're not. You're going to North Carolina. And you're probably going back to Puerto Rico.
Wow.
So there you go. You don't want to get drunk and then fly. I was on a flight that was delayed one time. A lot of people waited in the bar, and there was a young lady that decided that, hey, I'm going to go smoke in the bathroom now. $10,000.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she got
Bad
really
idea.
drunk. Oh, it was bad idea. Kids, that's what happens when your brain is on drugs.
John and Heidi.
Now your moment of duh. University Hospital Coventry recently sent Ronald Cooksey a letter informing him that his non-emergency patient status means that his chances of survival are pretty darn good. Here's the problem, though.
He's dead?
Yeah. His family members read this letter and were not too excited about it.
Oh, no, I'm sure.
So Ronald Cooksey and other patients who died should probably not be getting letters like this. His non-emergency heart condition from a year before says maybe that they should probably check into these before they mail the letters out. But the
Wow.
family is a little upset. I don't know if they're going to
I don't blame
pursue
them for
legal
being
action.
well.
I would be
legal action.
Yeah, I
Come
don't know.
on, but I
An
would be very
apology.
upset. Yeah, an apology would be
nice.
sufficient.
Coming up, we've got your scoop of the day, and that is on the way.
The Scoop of the Day is brought to you by Wells Blue Bunny. If you want delicious ice cream, be sure to look for the Blue Bunny. Sure to have your favorite flavors. Learn more at bluebunny.com.
Now your scoop of the day. Archaeologists in Egypt have discovered a pair of socks meant to be worn with sandals from 2,000 years ago.
Okay. How do they know?
They had a place for the toes to go, I'm assuming. Sandal socks. Said right on the side, sandal socks.
Sandal socks.
I don't know. Even though chewing gum has traditionally been banned in many schools, it actually helps teens boost their math scores. According to a recent study, Baylor University researchers found those who chew gum during math class got 3% higher scores on standardized tests and earned better grades at the end of the term. Investigators believe that chewing reduces the stress, so you pay attention a little more and perform better on that darn test. What do you think, Heidi?
I think there's probably something to that, but also if you're chewing, maybe you're not talking to your neighbor and you're you're not fidgeting and so.
And maybe, if you're really smart, ahead of time, you can write all the answers on the gum wrapper, and then when you're chewing, I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Hey, a plan by Spain's prime minister to ban the use of memes in their country met an immediate and comical backlash on social media. Naturally, people created a lot of memes featuring their prime minister. The ban was put before Congress. Proposed restrictions placed on spreading images that infringe the honor of a person. So I can understand what they're aiming for there.
Yeah, I can see what they're going for, but you
instantly.
got to be careful with what you let the government do.
Yeah. The British Council polled 70,000 English learners in 46 countries to ask, what is the most beautiful word in the English language? What do you think they said?
I have no idea.
I'll let you think about it for a little bit here. It says here 35,000 people voted online to narrow it down to the top 70 most beautiful words. They
I would
include
say love.
peace is one, cute, lullaby, giggle, bliss, kangaroo, twinkle, bumblebee, grace, flabbergasted, tickle, sweetheart, blossom, liberty, destiny, freedom, tranquility, and hippopotamus. If you're just tuning in right now in the midst of this tirade of words, those were supposed to be beautiful words.
Hippopotamus? Now, somebody must have just been screwing around.
It could have been. 70 most beautiful words. And again, this is from a British council. We're not quite done yet. Counting down the top 5 are eternity, love, which is what you said, smile, passion, and the number 1 most beautiful word in the English language, and I think I'll agree with this one, mother. That is a beautiful word. And it's also a beautiful thing because, none of us would be here without mother. Hey, a state liberalizes their marijuana laws. Can I go home now? As states liberalize their marijuana...
Oh, my goodness.
I can't even say it. As states liberalize their marijuana laws, public officials and safety advocates worry that more drivers on pot could lead to big increases in traffic deaths. Now, researchers have studied this issue, and they're divided on the question. Studies of marijuana effects show that the drug can slow decision-making, decrease peripheral vision,
what?
and impede multitasking, all of which are critical driving skills. But unlike alcohol, drivers high on pot tend to be aware that they are impaired, and they try to overcompensate by driving slower and then avoid risky actions like passing other cars and allowing extra room between vehicles. So they're saying it's bad, but I don't know, maybe not so bad. So they're really split on that decision, much like that topic in general. And our final story, and then I'm going to turn this tongue off for a little bit. Scientists at the University of Auckland have determined that mozzarella is the best kind of cheese used for making pizza. Was there ever
I don't know that there was ever a debate on that.
I don't think so either, but the Journal of Food Scientists, they decided to work on this, and they watched as pizzas cooked with a variety of cheeses, cameras with special software, and analyzed things like the blustering and browning and elasticity and water density, and they said, yep, you got the right kind. Mozzarella, you're good. You can put that Gouda away now.
I wonder how much they made
don't know.
to do that study.
I have no clue. We need to get in on these studies, man.
It's insane.
All right. Coming up, another interesting study in the life of a human. We'll be chatting with Tuesdays with Charlie, my father-in-law. That's all on the way.
John and Heidi.
We just wrapped up one of the most contentious elections in the history of our nation. Some are excited about the outcome, others not so excited. We want to remind you that we're still one nation, under God, indivisible. We've made it through many things, and we'll make it through this too. Let's do it together. At PoliticalStorm.com, we've been covering this election from both sides, and we want to thank the many contributors that have helped make that possible. We also invite you to become a contributor too with a free blog. Let's share all of the reasons to come together and unify as a nation. Share your voice at PoliticalStorm.com.
John and Heidi.
And it's time right now for my favorite program, something we do every Tuesday just because we can. We pick up the phone and we call my father-in-law for a little program we like to call
Tuesdays with Charlie.
How you doing, Charlie?
Are you sure there ain't like 2 or 3 Tuesdays in the week?
Does it feel like we do this more than once a week?
Well, I think this week, because we just saw each other this weekend. That was kind of fun for us.
Well, it was an experience.
It was, yeah. It was fun for us anyway, so. What kind of cool stuff are you going to teach everybody today?
Well, hey, you remember Buzz Aldrin, don't you?
Yeah, I've heard of the guy.
Wasn't he the first guy to walk on the moon?
No. Neil Armstrong was the first one to walk on the moon. Buzz was the second one.
Oh, well then, here's Buzz Aldrin was first at something.
Okay. he was the first to be second. And walking on the moon. What was that?
He was the first man to answer the call of duty on the moon.
No kidding.
Really?
Huh.
I wonder what that looks like. Does it float up?
I have no clue.
I bet he said, hey, pull this spaceship over. I got to take a leak.
They should have filmed that, because that's something I would have been interested in seeing.
One small leak for a man.
One small leak
One
for
giant
man.
leak for mankind.
That's awesome.
Betty Porter River up there.
I have no idea.
Okay, here I'm going to test your Fluff. You stay out of this because you ain't got a clue.
Oh, boy.
Murder for a jar of red rum spelled backwards is murder for a jar of red rum.
Yeah.
Yeah, you say yeah. You spell that out already?
I did, in my brain. It's all spelled out backwards.
Murder for a jar of red rum.
Yep, spell it backwards.
It's like race cars, the same thing. You can spell it both ways.
There
But
you
that's
go.
a whole darn sentence right there. That's a lot more impressive than just one word.
Huh.
You get that, Fluff?
I'm not going to put the effort into it,
I'm
honestly.
not sure why she was asked to sit out. I don't think you didn't really need to ask.
Bring that up at one of your meetings or something. I don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
I'll use that later today.
Hey, then you know the band ABBA?
Yeah.
Yeah. Their
Yeah.
name is spelled the same forward and backward as well, by the way.
Yes, it is. And did you know that they had to negotiate with a fish canning company for the rights to use its name?
A fish canning company?
Yep.
Huh. I didn't know that because that's
Well,
their name
that's
too.
why you have me on the air, because
I
you
know.
learned.
We
almost said
needed to know that.
Yeah, I heard. I was ready to
Yeah,
bleep
you
you.
almost said it.
We do learn stuff every week.
Yes, we do. And I got one last thing here for you.
Thank
Okay.
goodness. I mean, what is it?
In Kawasaki, Japan, there's a penis festival on the first Sunday of every April.
Why is that?
I don't know. Well, it's because it's April. I don't know.
Okay.
What do they do there?
You don't want to know.
Let's go over there in April and see.
I think I'll skip that. But I'm glad that you brought up Japan because your question today has to do with Japan as well.
Oh, they have a penis festival every first April.
I knew that. That's not the question.
Oh,
In America, when we're learning the alphabet, there's 26 characters, A, B, C, D, all the way through
Yep.
Z. How many do they have in Japan?
okay. Let me just, before I answer it, is it more or less?
Oh, it's way more.
158.
I think
No.
it's over 200, isn't it?
It is over 200. It's 2,000 characters.
Oh, holy cow.
2,000?
Yeah, there's 2,000 characters in the Japanese language, and kids learn 80 of them, 80 brush strokes in second grade, and they keep learning until they get to high school, and by the time they're in high school, they can actually read the newspaper. And it says here...
Are you kidding?
No.
They
And it
can't
says
read
now,
the newspaper till they're in high school because they don't know their own language?
And it says nowadays, with computer technology, a lot of things are being... shrunk down so they can actually fit on a keyboard. You imagine how big a keyboard would have to be at 2,000 gigs?
6 foot wide.
Can you hit that button on the end over there? Trying to spell my name. That would be tough stuff right there.
Is this show legal to have on the air?
It's barely legal, but it's legal. Yes, we can have it on.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
Well,
I
Charlie,
can live with that.
it is always a pleasure to visit with you and do what we can to shape the minds of the future generations here on Tuesdays with Charlie.
They should really listen and pay attention.
I know they should. If they listened and paid attention, they would know so dang much stuff they could probably drop out of school.
I would think by third grade they could hang her up.
There you go.
Unless they're in Japan.
Yeah.
Because you can't read the newspaper.
All right. Well, we'll talk to you next week, Charlie.
Bye, Daddy.
Okay. Bye, Fluff. Bye, John.
Bye-bye. My father-in-law right there, we talk to him every Tuesday just because we can with a little program we like to call
Tuesdays with Charlie.
John and Heidi.
Are you ready for Duel? Kyle Dowling on guitar, Brett Gunderson on bass, Sam DeVito on drums, and frontman Duel Shape.
Gotta keep rocking, gotta keep sucking, bringing it down like rain.
Duel's new single just hit iTunes and it's selling fast. Get your copy now.
You're lacking chains and you feel no pain. Supernova gonna get you too.
Their first single, Supernova, is available now for less than $1. Learn more and find a direct link to buy Supernova at facebook.com/duelrocks.
John and Heidi.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
There are approximately 45 billion fat cells in the average adult human. I'm way above average.
I think I'm probably
think
way
I got
above
more than that.
average.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Bad hair days are a cause of low self-esteem. I was thinking that it was caused by bad hair. Anyway, Yale University did a big study on that. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The opossum is the only marsupial native to North America. So there you go, for all of you wondering about that one.
Is that what they're? I mean,
They're marsupials.
I've always called them possums. They're opossums.
Opossum. I don't know.
So if you say possum, it's wrong.
So I think this one is the regular one's a possum. This one is an Irish version.
If it's
It's opossum.
if it's opossums,
Top of the
is that multiple? Is that like the
Probably.
plural of possum?
Yeah, it's like a pack of possums.
Because several possums would not be possums; they're opossums.
I have no idea.
I don't know. We should look.
We should quit talking. In the measurement term, a gill equals 4 ounces. 4 ounces or half a cup is a gill. I'll take a gill of that. And our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Vanilla is a member of the orchid family. So now you know.
There you go.
Fun facts for you on a Tuesday.
John and Heidi.
This is the world's first and only 7-time lottery game grand prize winner. Since I endorsed Lottolicious, I have won something every single draw. When you join, you'll be giving them the set of numbers that you want them to play, and that's what they will play for you. You don't have to worry about running to the store to buy your tickets. They take care of all that. So if you're looking for the best way to play the lottery, go to RadioLottoPool.com and join today. Again, that's RadioLottoPool.com.
John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Tuesday. Can you believe Thanksgiving will be here next Thursday already?
No, I really
How the heck
can't.
did that happen? I mean, it doesn't seem like it is. But I have 7 turkey myths that could ruin your Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Myth number 1. Always wash the turkey thoroughly. Experts say scrubbing down your bird is not only unnecessary, actually could be harmful. You could splash disease-causing germs around in your sink and on your countertop, and your utensils are saying, no, they're already clean. You don't need to do that. I'm probably going to still do that.
They're already clean. If they're already clean, how could you be splashing disease-causing germs?
Because there's like germs. I don't know. Let's move on.
If there's no germs to splash, then it's not
Myth
clean.
number B.
Leave those germs on the bird where they belong so you can eat them up.
Myth number 2, or B, you don't have to thaw a turkey completely. Actually, a properly thawed turkey is the key to making sure the bird is thoroughly cooked. So you're going to want to do that. Another myth.
No, wait. Okay. You just said you don't have to thaw the bird thoroughly.
That's the myth.
Oh.
The myth is, you know.
The myth. Okay.
Yeah, the next myth.
Myth.
A stuffed
Yes.
turkey won't cook through. Simply check the temperature of both the stuffing and the turkey before serving. Stuffing should be about 165
I thought
degrees.
you weren't supposed to stuff a turkey anymore.
Yeah,
I've heard that many times that you can get
Another myth.
salmonella.
I don't know. Basting frequently keeps meat moist. They're saying basting doesn't actually flavor the meat much. Most of the liquid runs off the skin right back into the pan. Myth number whatever we're on, 12, I have no clue. You can tell the bird is done by its thigh temperature. Food experts and Gourmet Magazine recommend that using 4 different spots to check for the best doneness. That's the word they have. I didn't know that was a word. My computer doesn't know either. It's underlined in a little red squiggle. It says prick both thighs, the thickest part of the breast on each side, and maybe even the wings. Myth number next. You don't eat the skin. They say turkey skin is high in fat, but it is a good kind of fat.
Turkey skin.
I do too. Another myth, leftovers can sit out until the end of the meal. It says, according to Butterball, they say refrigerate leftovers within 2 hours. So there you go.
Well, who takes longer than 2 hours to eat?
I have no idea. I don't know. I'm not there telling people how to do things.
I absolutely love turkey. We
do
should
too.
make it more often.
You know what? We should. Why do we only eat that on special days?
I don't know. Because, well, I'll tell you why. Because it's such a pain in the butt to deal with all those bones
There
and
you go.
everything.
That explains that.
But I would like to have it more often. I love turkey. It's my favorite kind of meat.
Turkey tips for you right there on a Tuesday. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
When is the last time you changed the air filter on your furnace? Now, don't be embarrassed. That happens to a bunch of us. The furnace filter should be changed often. This will help your heating and cooling system run more efficiently, and it'll even extend the life of your system. Now, there's an easy way to make it happen. Filter Easy, a new subscription service that delivers your size filter right to your door on the schedule you choose. It's easy. Filter Easy. One less thing to worry about. Learn about a special offer available now at radiosavings.com.
John and Heidi.
Not so long ago, we had some turkey tips on this Tuesday. Now I have other tips on this Tuesday. These are tips for the clueless. This
Okay.
stuff all really happened. If you're trying to get a job at UPS, do not send your bid to them by FedEx. That's the one. So somebody was trying to become a contractor for them, and they shipped them
Oh, wow.
FedEx.
That's fantastic.
If your computer says printer out of paper, the problem cannot be resolved by continually clicking OK, print, OK. Somebody actually had to go fix a printer, and they're like, see here where it says printer is out of paper?
500 copies of something.
If you want your refrigerator ice maker to work, you need to hook it to a water source. So they've had people show up, and they're like, see the problem here? See where this hose comes out, and it's not hooked to anything? No matter how much data you add to your laptop, it will not get heavier. Somebody thought that their laptop was too heavy because, well, I have too many files saved on there. Yeah, it's not a thing. A bad place to store your emergency backup diskette is on the upper side of your desk drawer, secured by a large magnet.
There are some interesting people.
Okay. And the last thing on here, there's others, but we're going to just go with this. This is when your PC says you have mail, don't go to the company mailroom looking for a package. So somebody's done that too.
I have one more.
What's
when
yours?
I was a travel agent,
Yeah.
I had a lady who specifically said to me, I don't want a window seat because I don't want my hair to get messed up. I'm not kidding.
They roll those up, man.
Those do not open.
All right, couple of interesting tips for the clueless on a Tuesday.
John and Heidi.
Well, this is actually kind of a sad story.
Okay.
It's kind of sad. A driver was very disappointed with the license plates that they were given. Over 300 people were given new license plates with the prefix FAT.
Oh.
And one of them was a person who was a little overweight, so her license plate read FAT 058. And they didn't want that on their license plate. They were like, well, it's like a personalized license plate. It looks like it. And so states started using vowels in their license combinations. So in addition to FAT, others got license plates that say DUM and then 3 numbers, or DUD, like dud, or DUH, like duh. So there are people
It'd be easier to remember your license plate.
Yeah. Which car's yours? The one that says Fat 058? That's me. I'm Fat 058. It's also my username on Facebook. So anyway, yeah, that would be kind of sad. Kind of a sad thing. So yeah, don't do that.
John and Heidi.
We just wrapped up one of the most contentious elections in the history of our nation. Some are excited about the outcome, others not so excited. We want to remind you that we're still one nation, under God, indivisible. We've made it through many things, and we'll make it through this too. Let's do it together. At PoliticalStorm.com, we've been covering this election from both sides, and we want to thank the many contributors that have helped make that possible. We also invite you to become a contributor too with a free blog. Let's share all of the reasons to come together and unify as a nation. Share your voice at PoliticalStorm.com.
John and Heidi.
We live in a youth-obsessed culture, Heidi, fueled in part by baby boomers who refuse to grow old gracefully. Everybody having, this nipped and that tucked and, this held up with duct tape or whatever. I don't know what they're doing. Anyway, people say 50 is the new 30, right?
Okay.
If that's the case, when does this murky milestone of middle age actually begin? Florida State University sociology professor Ann Barrett examined how people view the start and end of middle age. Both men, you're getting all kinds of text messages.
I am,
what is
my
going on there?
goodness.
Somebody's calling to say, hey, John is old. That's what it is. Anyway, both men and women view the start and end of middle age as occurring earlier for women than men. That's not fair. Consistent with the argument that a double standard of aging exists that disadvantages women. It says here, younger adults tend to see middle age as occurring at younger ages that older adults do as well. In other words, as people grow older, they tend to see this life stage as occurring a little later. So when does middle age begin, Heidi, if you had to shout out a number right now?
I still say 40.
All right. Well, although there's no hard data that clearly define the bookends of middle age or midlife, it seems to have a pretty good idea about when our view from the youth of the rearview mirror. Most people think middle age begins at 44 and ends at 60. So we're not quite middle-aged yet. That's good.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's very interesting. So 44 to 60 is middle age.
I still feel middle-aged.
I feel downright...
I feel beyond middle-aged,
I feel
actually.
like downright old some days. So as I'm reading with my reading glasses here, and I think I need new ones too, by the way. I'm getting to the point where things are getting a little blurry. So I don't know if it's the glasses or all that tequila that you're feeding me with my coffee. I'm not sure. Just kidding. There's no tequila in my coffee. Coming up in a moment, we do have some good news, and I've got that on the way on the John and Heidi Show for a Tuesday.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always try to wrap this program up with some good news, and I think this is really good news.
Good. I like it when the good news is good news.
I think it's good news because I've wondered this. It says, how do you know if you have a cold or if you have the flu? Have you ever wondered that? Like when you're sick, you're like, what do I have?
You don't usually puke with the cold.
Okay, well, take a listen here. Peter Hibbard, MD, told News Health Max the best way to distinguish between a cold and the flu is by a rapid test your doctor can give in the office. However, clinical symptoms can help you figure it out before you even call the doctor. If it's a cold, you'll likely have nasal congestion, I get that once in a while, a minor sore throat, a dry cough, and possibly low-grade fever. The common cold typically comes and goes in about 6 days, and few of us suffer any complications. When you get a cold, you can usually go to work, and this is a mild illness. If it is the flu, on the other hand, you will experience a sudden onset of overall body aches, a fever over 100 degrees Fahrenheit, cough, congestion, nausea, weakness, loss of appetite, and even vomiting. What are you laughing about?
Has anybody ever confused those two things? Has anybody ever had the flu and been like, I have got one hell of a cold?
This may be
I've got stuff coming out of both ends.
This may be the worst cold I've ever had.
I can honestly say I already knew the difference before you started talking.
Once it gets to the point where you have all that going on, yes. Influenza is a serious illness, so serious that it's difficult to go to work because you're too ill and too weak. So there you go. So he's saying if, it could just be a cold, but if you start getting all those other symptoms, don't go to work because it is the flu. So
thank you for that on-the-spot report, John.
Was that a Les Nessman joke right there?
Yes.
Oh, you. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. I think it's good news. Now I know the difference. Before I was always wondering, I'm so sick. What do I have? My wife over here doesn't help me much. She's like, whatever it is, you'll never know. I hope you don't die. All right. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Tuesday.